Peace, peace. This is another episode of Black Space Live, one that you don't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Black space is a place for us.
Real people with real issues.
Discussing real topics.
Black space.
A safe space for our community.
So I don't. Let's go. I hope it is.
Hold on. What up, everybody? This is Network Neek, and we got another powerful live stream this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and say it straight out. This is not meant to be a spoiler alert of or you know no spoilers of any kind for this new movie they cloned Tyrone, but they just pretty much stole my whole show topic for the week, and I wasn't even interested in the movie. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce my co-host. I'm Network Neek. Y'all know where to find me everywhere, every social media platform handle Network Neek. Let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, Big Ish.
Hi guys, y'all know me. It's your girl Big Ish. You can find me on Instagram, Big Ish underscore the great. You can find me on TikTok, Big Ish underscore the great. Facebook doesn't like my name, so you can find me as Isha Smith. I am your fun life coach, here to guide you through all of your life troubles, and I also am a licensed esthetician. So let's do this.
Word. And without further ado, we got Big Chief in the house. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Kamani Brave Force, man. I'm on Facebook. That's about it. I think I'm on TikTok too, man. Um, yeah, ready. I'm ready to get into it, man.
Word. So as I was stating, the show title,
Can do.
uh, effortlessly came to me with the current state of events, but is a reason why I have or chose you, Chief, to be on this show, because before we even get into the nitty gritty of where we are now, I've watched you speak um, a lot, and I think that the value that you have in speaking to men and women, but primarily men, because I kind of get on the women, in our sister groups or whatever. But I would like for you to speak on why I'm calling you Chief right now.
Yeah, that's cool, sis.
So,
You want me
so
to?
yeah,
Go ahead.
tell the audience why I'm calling you Chief.
Um, Hopefully, she calling me chief, man, because I am a chief. You know, I don't want to say I consider myself a chief. I am a chief, and a lot of people are confused about what a chief is, man. And you hear a lot of terms being thrown around, generals, chiefs, and all this crazy stuff. But well, a chief, man, when you see stuff that's wrong, right? A lot of times in this world, man, people quote unquote mind their own business, right? And they let all of these wrong things go on, and which is, I believe, that's why we're at this point. Well, when you're a chief, everything's your business. The entire village is your business, and I consider from New York to California my business. This is my country. I'm a native. I'm a Blackfoot native. I can trace my history back damn near to the late 1500s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an African. I'm not an African American. None of that good shit. This is my land. You know what I'm saying? So everything that has ever happened on this land, because I've always been here, everything that has ever happened on this land is my business. So through different lifetimes, I've watched this place go from the Garden of Eden to fucking Babylon. So yeah, it's all my business. It was my business every lifetime, and it's my business now. So that's why I consider myself a chief. Well, that's why I am a chief, is because I don't just talk about the shit. I do the shit. I get out there and I talk with my people. I make sure sisters got somewhere to stay. We were in it when I was doing so-called revolution in Atlanta. Man, we bought five tax lien homes and put single moms and children in there and that sort of thing. We patrol streets to make sure that that are going on in the streets are what's supposed to be going on. I'm trying to think of all the stuff, but it's
And you don't have to. You touched on what I wanted you to, and that's knowing who you are
right,
on this
right.
land. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of we're gonna, for lack of a better term, call them the GMO, because the nigga is created by America. You know what I'm saying? It was a project. So the GMO, they lack a bit of self awareness when it comes to that aspect. So I wanted you to kind of touch on that so that the audience is aware that nobody here is just speaking out of ignorance,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
So we're
nobody
talking.
here is just talking just to talk. I want to go ahead and quickly introduce this next brother coming in. Did you have something you wanted to say though first, Chief?
No, I'll wait. When you were talking about GMOs, I'll wait till we touch on the topic. I'm excited for you to introduce my man. He's a good friend of
Word,
mine.
word, word, word.
How you doing, Queen?
Peace, peace.
Can you hear me clearly?
Hello.
It says you have to unmute yourself. All right, all right. So there we go. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother. I don't know why we still can't hear you.
All right.
Say something
Can
now.
you hear me now, Queen?
Yes,
We
sir.
got
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yep.
Okay, let me say something about this good brother in this name, Chief.
Uh-huh.
Listen to the brother talk. He's like the commander in chief, just like a president of the United States. When you become a chief, you understand kingdoms.
Mhm.
So the brother is bringing the truth to his peoples about this kingdom, and only chief can recognize that. Only chief can know all and know it all. So he's going into the secrets, tapping in, and bringing it to you raw and uncut. So I honor this brother. It's my good brother. So that's what the chief to me is, commander in chief, the
Absolutely.
president.
Absolutely. We all feel it when we hear him speak. I definitely feel it when I hear him speak, for sure. And how about you, brother Yusuf? Where you coming in from? When can the audience find you? And um, you know, I definitely have you on here for a very interesting perspective as well, because you kind of go into the history of who we are as a people as well.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you can find me on Facebook, Joseph Yusuf White. You'll find me on my TikTok, High Priest 111141. And I'm coming from the California. And my whole perspective of this thing, like Brother Chief, I'm a chief as well. So, our duty is to wake our people up and give and sound the alarm. You know, we see things that's happening in the United States that's not given to us directly from our so-called black leaders. So
Yes.
we're gonna do all we can do to make sure our people's prepared for the fall of the kingdom. So I believe that's our purpose at this
Yeah.
point in life. Period. I think sometimes I look at it and we were chosen to do this mission. It's not an easy thing because we lose family, we lose friends, and we become alone at times.
Hmm.
But this is what we are called to do, and I think we wear it with a badge of honor. So we do this on the consistency. It's not something that we do just for likes, comments, or subscribes.
Right, right.
We don't do this
Absolutely.
for paychecks. We do this for the kindness of our heart, the love of our people. So
Compassion, compassion,
passion,
definitely.
just
And gratitude to both of you, for putting in the work. Um, and without further ado, did you want to speak on our history? Because I want to staple it in real good with my audience
Mhm.
that we are coming from a place of love when we start checking the GMO niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's male and female. But I need for my audience to understand that we coming from a place of love. We're coming from a place of self-awareness of who we know that we are. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So,
Yes.
um, yeah, without further ado, I want to speak on black folks versus the nigga, the original versus the GMO, right? And
Mhm.
like I was stating, they cloned Tyrone, kind of touched on it in satire, every single part of this show dynamic. But first, I want to ask both of you: do you make it a point to separate yourself or make it known that you are not a nigga and who you and assert who you are, or do you just blend in?
Man,
Uh oh.
got muted. Okay.
I knew that already.
Yeah, okay. We working through our own technical difficulties over here, y'all. 'Cause we sitting at
It's
the
all
same
good.
table, so we trying
We
to
cool.
avoid the echoes and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I've been on several podcasts. There's several podcasts. I done sat on several radio studios in Atlanta and had several interviews with several people, right? And I don't think I've ever been asked a question as important as this one, right?
Word.
Matter of fact, we just talked about this today. Every race has its every race has its subculture, right?
Mhm.
Every major race has its subcultures. Mexicans got wetbacks, Puerto Ricans got spick, Chinese got chinks, and white folks have crackers. Black folks have niggas, right?
Mhm.
And every subculture will embarrass its primary culture. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If a nigga, right? A nigga has a uniform, man. A nigga has a uniform. A nigga has a language. A nigga has nigga interests. Niggas hang around other niggas. Niggas listen to nigga shit. Niggas say nigga stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I've never had to. I live out here in a town that's literally 98% white, and the other 2% ain't black. It's like point 0.3 blacks, like some shit like that, right?
0.00 point.
Right. But everywhere I go, people lay eyes on me. They see a black man, but when I open my mouth, they understand that I'm damn near next to God type shit, and
Right.
they fucking love me out here. When I say love me
Mhm.
out here, I don't do anything for the love. I'm just who I am. So I think, and when I see my man, I see my man Yusuf, right? I don't see a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I think that real black men have to do very little to distinguish themselves from niggas. Because a black man will stand out in a crowd of niggas like a sore thumb. I know they say if you hang around a bunch of niggas, or whatever you hang around, that's what you are. If you're looking close enough, you can tell a black man from the niggas.
So what go more into in depth with this nigga uniform.
Man, the nigga you okay. Take me for example, right? I don't know if y'all can see. I got on a grumpy old veteran shirt and some damn camouflage shorts
Yeah.
from an army uniform that I had that the army gave me in '93.
Yeah.
Today I had on some light brown combat boots. You know what I'm saying? And I had because it's hella sunny out here in the mountains, right? When you look at a person like that, you can kind of tell, okay, this person must have been a veteran, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
When you see niggas with their pants sagging, you see niggas that you can see their whole ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, deliberately, there's a nigga tries to look. A nigga wakes up and deliberately looks like a nigga to whereas a man, it doesn't take anything. It
Right.
don't take anything at all. Like I wear the same pair of shorts literally like 4 days in a row. I'm on a farm. I ain't got nobody to impress. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when a lady tell me it's time to do the laundry, I throw these in there and throw the other ones on, and them motherfuckers get 4 days too. Like I don't. That, a man, a man is not deliberate in his dress. A nigga
Yeah.
got to match his belt with his shoes, and all of this crazy. He got a sash. You can see that he got Louis Vuitton drawers on and shit like that. You know a man when you see, well, at least I hope it's so few and in between now that we really
Right.
we think men is a suit. A man ain't no fucking suit.
That's a
A
fact.
man ain't no fuck. Like when I see these guys posting stuff like, we need more of this, we need more of this from our black men, and it'll be a bunch of black men in suits. Anybody can put on a fucking suit. Anybody can match their top with their fucking bottom. I don't know this nigga from that nigga. I don't know. I just know you niggas like suits.
Right.
But it doesn't, it don't mean you're gonna do shit. Can you
Right.
build something? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's a nigga don't want to build. A nigga don't even want to build with other people, let alone build a barn. You know what I'm saying? Let alone build a house. A nigga don't want to get his hands dirty. I know grown ass 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds that can't change a fucking tire.
And they won't, and they'll make excuses for it. Oh, I got that's what I paid AAA for. I'm glad you
Exactly.
went into that
Exactly.
because there are people, there are women who don't know that
No idea.
they have
No
no
idea.
idea.
Our
You know what
women
I
have
mean?
no idea what a man is. No idea.
Right,
No
right.
They
fucking
want
idea.
one.
Man, you got women that I scroll through TikTok a lot, and I see this little gold digger thing that they do right with this dude try to talk to the girl, man, and she'll walk off. He'll walk to the fucking Lamborghini, and she come running back. He a man now. He's a man now because he got a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? I see,
Hmm.
like, we have no fucking, like, in 2023, literally, this is sad and it's funny at the same time. In 2023, all you literally have to do is not fuck other boys to be considered a man. That's it.
Right,
Just don't
right,
fuck other boys. You don't have to
right.
provide safety. You don't have to provide guidance. You don't have to do shit. You don't have
Yeah,
to provide a roof. You don't have to be the hunter and gatherer. You don't have to be any of that shit. Just don't fuck other boys. And there's some women that still consider niggas that fuck other boys men.
right,
We
right,
don't
right.
know what
You're
the
right.
fuck a man is in 2023. So you're looking at two unicorns right here. And I blame women. We talked about this
Mhm,
today.
mhm.
Hmm.
About the acceptance of that fucking GMO woman, that goddamn training. And I hope they
Oh
don't
my
take
Hmm.
her
God.
shit down for this.
Thank you.
But but y'all, I'm not saying y'all two in particular,
No,
but
it
black
started in
women,
the late 80s. It
yes,
started in the
black
late
women.
80s.
Get girl,
Yeah.
get you a gay friend and all of that bullshit, and
Mm-mm.
hanging with trannies and shit. That's a fucking man you hanging with. And the first time that bitch don't like what you say, she gonna knock you the fuck out
And then
And
you're gonna be
still hit
looking
like
for
a man.
with her
and
fucking, yeah, with her man strength. It's some trannies that I wouldn't even fight. When we were hunting sex traffickers. I don't know. I saw a 6'5" tranny, 6'5", 240 fucking pounds. I'm not fighting this big bitch.
With female and male strength.
Yes. And y'all want to befriend that crazy motherfucker? Listen, if it wasn't crazy, it wouldn't think it's a fucking woman. And that's what
right.
you want to make your fucking friend?
Right. And they're on the attack right now. I'm glad you brought that up because
Man,
it's
listen.
a real
They
woman under attack. I think her name is Jess
man.
Hilarious
Can I
because
chime in real
they
quick on
said
that
they,
uniform?
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Go
Let me
ahead.
chime in on uniform. But you asked what is a nigga uniform? Nigga uniform is certain frequencies, certain alcohol, certain
Mm,
hangouts, certain cars, certain motorcycles. I
mhm.
mean, mimicking.
Yeah.
Mimicking is a nigga. When they can create something for you to be, besides to be a man, you go ask anybody, what are you? Nigga, I'm a dope dealer, I'm a biker, I'm a pimp, I'm a hustler. But they never say man
Never
first.
say it. Never say it.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's the
Hmm.
nigga uniform. It's a creation. So when we start really getting down to the whole scope of, because everything is psychological.
Right.
All of these ologies, that they laid on us, we got to go back and study these folks over there in Cambridge, um, over there in Europe. We got to go over there and study these high institutions of learning over there in Europe and how they play the game on us as a people. Psychological profiling is the way to win. From psychological profiling brings on deceptions and manipulations. So when we understand the true enemy and the creator of all of this, um, we're gonna continue to wear that nigga uniform. We got
Yeah.
to understand what this thing is truly all about. Ain't nobody, especially black man or woman, is who the Most High planning them to be
Right.
because we had an interference, and it was
Hmm.
meant to be. So what Chief and myself do right now is try to crack the egg open and let the yolk run all up out of it, saying that hey, All of this in this age is our problem. It's all the ologies. Every ology that you can think of, sociology, biology, everything you can think of is attacking the black man to create this nigga.
Design that way.
That's facts.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
So we will never come out of this until the black woman understand the movement of the queen. Chess, the game chess, is the most powerful game on the planet Earth that the masters play.
Take the ones. Mm-hmm.
And when you understand that game, and you understand the significance, the importance of the queen. Now, you guys have to forgive me. I haven't slept in probably about 29,
2 days.
yeah, 2 days.
2 days.
So I haven't slept driving up here. But let me say this: the queen must understand she is the number one. Men always say he's number one. No, he's the protector of
Of
the
the number
queen.
one. Yeah.
She's the most powerful thing on the board.
That's the
You got to
tissue
understand
protect.
how the king moves. He's only able to move one square at a time, right? She goes and attack and come back and
Mhm.
bring the information. Then the
Mhm.
king might give us some more orders to
Mhm.
carry out. But the problem with us, we have no queen to fulfill those orders.
Horror culture. I
Of
spoke
course,
about this on our first show, Are Black Women Toxic? And I know it
the
touched a
white
lot of
man can
nerve.
have a spy,
Yeah.
a white woman spy, even a black woman spy, to go and seek and go get that information for him that he needed.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And we have nobody in our communities trying to set that infrastructure together for us. Everybody chasing the bag. While we chasing this bag that is dying, they putting all kind of tricks in our bag that's trying to destroy us. You
Absolutely.
understand? So we got to understand this whole monopoly, this whole game. It's more psychological than anything else. Than
That's
anything
what it's
else.
so important. You touched on a lot of great points in there, but the main one is us, meaning original people actually having queens to have an agenda, to be on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um organization, like, this is the reason why I create spaces like this, because I'm in solitude. I grew up pretty much in solitude, the weird one in my city and everywhere. And then I meet another weird one that's 5 states away. And it's like we have to communicate with one another. We have to
Mm-hmm.
organize with one another. And some of these conversations have to be taken offline so we can set agenda.
Yes,
You know
ma'am.
what I'm
Right.
saying? But this is where we stand on we stand up here on the hill and throw out the call. You know what I'm saying? These are war calls where we're calling forth for more of us so that we can organize. You guys are probably very well organized. I understand some of you probably have a military background. I don't have any of that, and I damn sure didn't grow up with a bunch of solid men. My
Mm-hmm.
grandfather was the last one. You know what I'm saying?
Sis,
And it's like,
listen, that that's we literally just got finished talking about this, right? Like before y'all, it's crazy because everything. These are the conversations that we have on like a normal basis, like what we're
yeah.
talking about now. Because so I can tell you that most of the stuff that we were talking about tonight, that we'll talk about tonight, we've probably been talking about it today, right? And our biggest between us, we have 216 acres, right? He's got his village. I got my village, right? We try our best to like help out people. I've had I hope they don't see this, but it has to be true. I mean, I've had two sets of single women with children out here. You know what I'm saying? On my land, just help. And I'm talking about no fucking strings attached. I'm a fucking cheat, like
Mhm.
no string. I whoop they kids for getting out of line type shit.
Right.
Had them
It
out
takes a
here,
village.
right? And both of them, you know what I'm saying, ended up not wanting to be out here for whatever. One was on some bullshit, some vindictive bullshit. I don't know where the fuck that came from. And another one just changed her mind and went back. And I don't know if it was too hard for her or what. But we tried. We're trying to build communities out here. And people need to understand that living off grid, you can't just hit that light switch, man. You
Right.
can't just send them people that money, you know what I'm saying, and your electricity is on. You got to go make sure your fucking solar is working. You
Yeah.
ain't can't just flip your damn, turn your water on and just let it run for days while the shower get hot. Nah, because you got your water from the well and you had to haul that shit up here in a fucking truck.
It
Can't just
takes, you got to be committed to that
right,
type of freedom,
right.
just like you're committed to this type of matrix.
Yeah. And you
People are
can't, like, people think you can just get out here and just kick your fucking feet up and nature will provide. Nah, you got 8 hours a day to put in. You got 8 hours a day to put into your land. You got to build
Mhm.
barns for
Right.
these animals. You got to plant, plant shit in your greenhouse, all kinds of shit. And people think it's fucking la la land, and they'd rather just pay money to have everything done for them and struggle to get that money.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mm-hmm.
always say this, my sister. Not meaning to cut no one off. I always say this. That Bible that we speak of was written by somebody, and somebody's following that mission to the T.
Yeah.
When you read the book of Revelations, it tell you that you must come out of what you feel comfortable in. When you start
Mm-hmm.
seeing certain things at this certain time. So when me and brother be doing, we be marking time. We're like, man, this matching up. This matching up with this time. So all these seals are being broken at this one time, fam. We got to get out the way. And we was just talking today. I was telling my brother, I said, brother, the reason why we got to get out the way because we ain't got no soldiers willing to fight. They gonna get mowed over because we
Yeah.
can't organize. Everybody still want to listen to these old heads, the NAACP, and all these organizations that's created by the others, controlled by the others, and we still glorify others. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got to stop, like it says in scripture, stop idol worshiping these transhumans that they put in front of us and start doing for ourselves. Start coming together with a sober mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not I'm talking about a mind that they didn't give us. Because
Right.
God, the Most High gave us our own thing. You dig what
A
I'm saying?
sound mind.
And
Yeah.
and we here right now, drawn together by one common cause. You know what I'm saying? And that is true.
Yeah.
Anybody ask me who the Most High is? True.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
It ain't male, female.
Mhm.
Ain't either one of them.
Right.
It's true.
Right. Mhm.
Because that's the only thing he said that will set you free. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
means we got to do some digging because another thing he said, you're destroyed for lack of knowledge. The knowledge of what? I know math. I know my
Right.
colors. I mean, what else supposed to have the knowledge of? You understand what I'm saying? So we got to tap into these things that is uncomfortable. We got
You
to
got to
be,
have some discipline. We got to have some discipline, and that's
And
something
hold
that
ourselves accountable. A lot of us don't want to hold ourselves accountable for shit and we
black
quit
black
because
women.
it don't suit us and what we
Let's
got
be
going
real.
on and how we feel. And it goes back to what we talked about on that other episode, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
You want
yeah,
to change shit to fit
yeah,
what your
yeah,
situation right
yeah.
now, and that's not cool. We don't take accountability for anything.
That's true.
When I was a kid, right, when I first came into the army, right, I came in the army in '93, 19 years old, right. I was walking past, and I tell this story a lot. Told it on live, Nick, so you might hear it again. I walked past something else on the ground. There was some junk on the ground, right? And my sergeant major saw me walk past it, right? He said, come here, private. Run over there. Yes, sergeant major. You didn't see that piece of paper on the ground over there? Sergeant major, yes, sergeant major. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, why didn't you pick it up? I said, honestly, sergeant major, because I ain't drop it. And he said, let me tell you something, soldier. Is it supposed to be there? I said, no, sergeant major. He said, let me tell you something. I want you to take this with you for the rest of your life. He said, anytime you walk past something that is substandard and you keep walking, you just set a new standard. And
Absolutely.
I took that with me. That's why I hunted the sex traffickers in 2016, 2017. That's why I became a black revolutionary. 'Cause at the time I thought it was right. When I retired,
Mhm.
give something back to my people. They've been the one that's been getting fucked. This whole chosen thing, right? Like people think for some reason that somebody's gonna come down here on a fucking magical sleigh and start picking motherfuckers like a kickball team. Like you look strong, you work out, you eat bananas and kale and shit. You think,
Right.
right? People think that
Right.
that's what the chosen is. It's not what it is, man. The chosen are those who chose to know and then do. Like a lot of people fucking know. There's a whole bunch of knowing. Facebook is full of motherfuckers that know. No, no, no. Everybody no, 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 no. But they don't do. To
Mm-hmm.
know and not do makes you worse than the motherfucker that don't even know in the first place.
Right. Right.
So that's what brought me out here. That's what brought my man out here to this off grid shit. That's why we're inviting y'all out here. Because to know that this shit is about to go down and not do something about it, what else is more important than the preservation of your life and the life of your
It's
children?
dangerous.
Like what
Exactly.
job, what fucking relationship, what fucking I love New York City, what the fuck is more important than the preservation of the existence of your family?
But
Now, if you don't know, then fuck it, then
right.
party till like it's 1999. But if you do know, and that's what's going to separate the chosen from the non-chosen, the ones who chose to know and do what it takes to be that chosen type shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yes.
It ain't
Yes.
nobody picking you because you prayed the most.
Right.
It ain't
Right.
nobody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody picking you because
Because
you
you
wore,
fast the most and
yeah,
all that.
you wore fucking, Power Ranger suit and marched and called yourself over and all this. That's not it. That's not it. Because
So
some of you motherfuckers some of you motherfuckers that claim to be an Israelite, if we're being honest, I've heard too many horror stories of how,
right.
what I'm saying, how y'all treat y'all women and that other shit. So you definitely ain't the chosen if you think a woman's place is on her knees, because half the chosen are women.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Half of that 144,000 is women. You gonna go ahead and think you're better
Hmm.
than them? So you know you're not chosen.
I'll
Not
say this
Absolutely.
about the woman. The men must be get behind the women and the women must speak up. So I was saying several months ago on my Facebook post, right, that when y'all speak up, the black woman,
hmm
everyone in the world will hear your voice.
true.
Harriet Tubman was around decades ago. There ain't no been no not a black woman like her since that spoke up with her voice. We had
Hmm.
handpicked black women. But once
Mhm.
when y'all start going in, I'm talking about with the truth, digging into it and speaking loud, this whole thing will change overnight. But y'all got to be willing to accept criticism because it's
Right.
going to come back.
Right.
But y'all got to learn how to speak with conviction.
Right.
You got to go after this music because frequency. They said that the devil is in the music.
Absolutely.
Y'all
Hmm.
got to attack these sisters
Hey, listen,
because they destroying
I
the
had a
fruit.
whole show on it. I had a whole show on it, and I focused on the sisters so much. Sometimes they'd be like, "Well, what
Yes.
about the men?" And it's like, "No, we need to
That
focus on
we
the
we
Y'all
the
the first
toxic."
teachers.
And let me
I couldn't be
Yeah,
a
say,
man.
y'all.
I
That's
couldn't
why.
be a
That's why
man.
I wanted
I,
y'all to come because it's like
I couldn't be a man unless I came through you.
man,
exactly.
I eat
and I
what?
I
want to can
couldn't
I
be.
say this for like the ones in the back, those who still playing checkers that don't get it. Let me speak a little nigger for some
Come
of
on,
those who
come on.
don't understand. And then
Yeah.
what I mean by that, what we're saying right now as a woman, you holding the cards. Let me break it down in layman's terms, okay?
Come
It's
on.
a whole bunch of group of men over here. It's a group of women over here. Now, if the women came collectively together and stood on their shit like this is gonna be law, this is what's going on. We not doing no more fuckery for the men and the women. And we just setting down the laws, eventually the men is gonna obey that. Cause I'm gonna explain to you why. You can sit there with your bros and do all your bro stuff and yeah, but after a while, when that woman walk on past, you gonna wanna follow up behind her. You're not gonna wanna be with your homies
That's right.
for more than hours of you know what I'm saying. So the woman holds the card at the end of the day, just like they say in marketing, sex sales. You can call it what you want, but you can hang out with all your friends, you're gonna get bored, you're gonna want to be around some type of woman. You talked earlier about, yeah, my wife, she does the laundry. You're gonna want that soft era, you're gonna want that woman touch and feeling. If we ain't locking it down and holding on to our demands, then we gonna fumble. We gonna fumble the ball every time.
Y'all
We
fumbled
gotta
when
we
y'all
gotta
went into the feminist
realize
movement. So
we gotta
when
yeah, we
go ahead.
gotta realize where we went wrong. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And a
Right.
lot of
Yeah.
times just a blanket statement like, okay, some people will say, okay, the black woman is God. Now you got all the of horror culture thinking that they God. And it's like
And they not.
washed you haven't even addressed the truth about your lifestyle to raise yourself to divinity yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, while the black
Mm-hmm.
woman is the most powerful piece a woman, period. She has, the life inside of her. We have to be honest about the state of our women right now, and it is not. They're toxic. Most black women are just toxic. They
That's a
online
fact.
fussing. They choosing wrong baby daddies and going back for a second, third, and fourth and fifth. And it's like they just not grasping every excuse. And as soon as you hold a woman's iron
accountable.
to the fire,
Mhm.
they don't like you anymore. We don't have a
Mm-mm.
we don't men, y'all have a brotherhood where you can go behind closed doors with Brother Yusuf, Chief, and you can let him know, listen, bro, that was out of line what you did earlier, and he gonna receive it, and y'all gonna move on, and y'all gonna be better.
Not with
Black
women.
women, oh, you hating on me, you must want my
And
man. Oh, she jealous because you da 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 da, and it's like, come on.
sis,
Now I'm
listen,
gonna get the other girls to hate you, and now it turns into a catty mean girl back and forth, unnecessary stuff. Unnecessary.
When I do some of these lives, right, I tell myself that I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna get upset. I tell myself that's why
I'm
you always
trying.
see me. I smoke. That's why you see me smoking
we had a
every
good
live.
day, bro.
That's literally trying to check myself, right? Right is right and wrong is wrong. If it's
Hmm.
fucking wrong, say something about it. So if it's that's why the fuck we're here. Let me tell
Right,
you how they fucked us over, right? What I'm trying to get back to is called compound living, y'all. And this is the way ahead because we're not going to convince the masses of what the fuck
right,
we believe or what the fuck
right.
we know. That's why we're called the chosen few. The
Hmm.
Bible says in the last days, the chosen will separate themselves from society. I, I didn't even know that until shit, I was out here a year damn near.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just have to follow your heart. When my heart says go, I fucking go. And it always ends up being on some right shit. I saw nothing but ones and fours the entire way out here. So much, in fact, that I just spoke out loud to the universe, like, okay, I know y'all got me. I know I'm headed in the right direction. That type of shit.
Hmm.
Ah, fuck. I was,
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
right. Okay, right. The way that we got to this shit, they took us from what we used to call what called up until my up until my grandfather. They had what was called compound living. My original name is Ivory. Damn near 150 Ivories lived on one compound
Hmm.
because everybody lived on this 200 acres. It was a neighborhood of nothing but fucking Ivories, right?
Hmm.
1954, the government started giving out these GI Bill, the VA loans to all of these
Yep.
soldiers that came back from World War II. So what that did was inspire Johnny to leave the fucking farm and just go have a nuclear family. It was the introduction of the nuclear family, the mom, the dad, and the kids type shit.
Village was there.
Right. It fucked the whole village thing up. Black people held on to it
Hmm.
the longest.
Yeah.
If you want to know the power in that, you remember the story of the Hatfields and McCoys, the two families at war from
Yep.
North,
I didn't
West
watch
Virginia and Kentucky, right? To stop that goddamn war, the governors of each state came to visit with the families. Like, y'all got to stop this shit. That's how much fucking power a compound of motherfuckers had. We have to go back to that, man.
I was
And
just saying, like in the U.S., they only sell, like, from what I see, single family houses, and I never knew. Okay, well,
yeah,
if this is a single family house, what's a multi-family house? It wasn't
Hmm.
until I moved to Jamaica and where I am now, where I see
yeah,
you got houses with everybody, all the aunts,
yep,
uncles, grandma, everybody, and cousins,
yeah.
in
First,
this.
second, and third cousins in one
I'm
house.
talking
Man,
about huge houses and land.
sis, listen.
Too much
I
personal
had,
business.
I had my grandfather, four Ivories married four Johnson girls. So there was literally like 500 of us in Milwaukee, right? There was so many of us that I couldn't go to certain high schools because they already had 31 Ivories there.
Wow.
That and everybody lived on the same block. Like
Yeah.
Ivory had like two blocks damn near sometimes. Like that shit. My grandfather and them did the compound living as much as they could, even taking it from the compound to buying up the neighborhoods and like living in the same neighborhoods and shit like that. Like,
Why do you say that's the future? Because we have
yeah,
to go. You think
It
we
has to
have to
be.
go back?
The only difference that this will be is I'm not related to you by blood. I'm not related to you by
Mm,
blood.
By
But
spirit.
yeah, we're related by spirit.
Led by
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah,
we're not relatives. We're family. And there's a difference, man.
absolutely. Uh, you started glitching because
There was a
family ain't
question asked
family.
earlier about there was a question that was answered asked about the messenger the ones chosen earlier, right? And
Okay.
first thing that popped up in my head was this scripture that I read about I knew you when you was in the womb. And when we're dealing with numbers, DNA structure, we got to understand the power of that DNA. You could put something like we say, hey, our ancestors are, we have all these different beings within us in our DNA structure. There was something written on some of us DNA for this time. It was already structured. This was beyond us. Because I'm telling you, I didn't choose this.
Right.
It chose me.
Right.
I would love to leave it behind,
Right.
but it won't let me. Right.
I was having a
But
blast being a nigga.
right. But
Right.
It's
it
Right.
bigger than
won't
you,
let me.
brother.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I think that some of us had it written in our DNA
Mhm.
I'm
before
trying to
we even
figure out
understand what
how
this is all
how
about.
how it got to me. I grew up in Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. I don't know if
Mhm.
y'all heard of Jamestown Settlement.
Yes.
Colonial,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
largest outdoor museum in the US, and
Hmm.
it is 18th century base. Like the city is actually owned by the Rockefellers. It cannot age at all. So it's still 18th century gravel roads, houses, all of that got to look 18th century. I'm still wondering how I turned out to be the weird one in my whole city. Like, how can you grow up
Right
around that
place.
and not see? You know what I'm saying?
It's embedded in
So,
your DNA.
so it's like
Yes,
I
tell her,
know,
sister, tell her. That's what it was. They
It's
called me
embedded.
weird. They called
That's
the
the
brother
truth.
he's weird. And the weird, see, listen, they called Christ himself weird. This nigga saying,
absolutely,
what? He's who? The government what? Man, if you don't get this nigga up out of here, that nigga's weird. You understand what I'm
absolutely,
saying? We fit
yeah,
those same shoes, whether you know it or not.
That
no,
We
I
fit
get
them.
it,
mitochondrial DNA.
I get it,
Exactly. So, we part of that bloodline. For real, for real. Separated somehow, some way, right? But
yeah,
we come
yeah,
here
Yes.
now in this end and say, listen, they go my brother, they go my sister, just by
right,
speaking words, just by speaking
absolutely,
the word. Like, oh, I recognize you. I know who
mhm,
you is.
yeah,
You
Mhm.
family. You
That
yeah,
family. But when
frequency.
me and the brother met, Brother Chief here, we met out here. Didn't know each other prior. We met at a little place. We were trying to purchase something. He invited me out to his land because we were pretty close. So as we were sitting here talking, there was a brother in between us, like he's looking at tennis, going back and forth between our conversations, right? And he said, man, you brother sound so much like that. So what he kept saying as he said in between, man, you brother just alike, man. That brother was just saying that. And Brother Chief looked at me and said, brother, what is your zodiac? You mind? No, he said, do you mind me asking what your sign is? I said, no, bro, I'm Aquarius. He stood up. I am too. Man, no wonder we got so much similarity. He said, brother, do you mind me asking what's your birthday? I said, man, on the 17th of February. He said, man, mine is too.
wow,
And we have the same mentality about this whole thing. And the
yeah,
cold part about it is we was brung to a place that is biblical, that is written,
yeah,
and is sacred.
yeah.
Didn't know anything about this place prior. Period. We was
Wow.
just led to come here. And we meeting all kind of like-minded individuals just like ourselves in the
off
same
eh,
location.
off grid at that. You know what I'm
Off
saying? Like
grid at that.
I'm meeting all
Getting
these
out the
cool
way.
people, and I'm in all the way in Jamaica looking at some land because I was like, shoot, I'm just gonna build my church retreat out here in the bush, get out of the U.S. I lost my mom last February 17th. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
She
So
got she
after
had
You lost her and gained two more.
yeah, she had something to do. She went out of here
she
on February
definitely did.
17th.
Yeah.
She definitely
She had to
did. But
leave here in Aquarius. And
Right.
she
after
left here in
It
Aquarius.
left you two powerful ones.
Yeah.
after
It's
I
okay.
did after that, I was just like, I gotta follow my heart. I know some things going on. I'm not really around no real men that's like protector. I'm almost protecting everybody in my quadrant
Mhm.
in the neighborhood, and it's like it's like sometimes I just want to be a woman, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm forced
Yeah.
to go into my DNA, and I mean, I got some Blackfoot in me, and
Hey, yep. Hey,
they were known
family.
as like I don't want to say like woman king, but some kind of slogan they gave us, which helped me to embrace my military side, because people always ask me if I've ever been in the military, and I'm like, no. Why do you ask me that? But it's how I think. You know what I'm saying? Assessing my
Mhm.
surroundings at all times. Listen, if somebody drive down that cul-de-sac, you got to know who they are. Like, this is
Yeah,
the time. I'm telling the
yeah,
hustlers on a corner, listen, this is what we got to do. Put some no trespassing signs. Somebody come down that block, you got to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And putting everybody on point, to the point where I got tired of managing people. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live in the bush for what it's worth. And now I'm meeting tribe everywhere, and it's like, you know what, this is, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. It's like, uh there is a verse of Psalms 91, I think. Many will fall at your right, you'll be some, I don't want to misquote it, but
I know what she, I know what she's talking
many will fall at your right hand, many will fall at your left,
about.
but it shall not come to you. You are safe in the secret garden, something like that. I might be mixing a old
yeah,
love
we
song
feel
or
it though.
something.
We feel it.
We're gonna check it out. We'll double back on that. Don't
I think
worry.
it's
No, I
Psalms
think what
91
it
though.
what it's saying, man. What it's saying is, in that time, like you're gonna see some ugly shit, and you're gonna see a lot of people fall on the way. But if you, it's not gonna happen to us because we're if you if you if you're always a step ahead, you're always a
Right.
step ahead. If that makes any sense,
It
and we're
does.
several steps ahead from our peers,
Yeah.
several steps ahead from our peers. So if the Bible is saying, it's saying in the Quran, it's saying 5 out of 6 will fall, right? It's going to be blood like a
Mhm.
river. 5 out of 6 ain't going to make it. I'm sure you can point out 5 or 6 ain't going.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Five people that stand less of a chance of making it than you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
sad thing that this many people will go. But I got a garden out here that when everything grows, I'm gonna have to turn it over. I'm gonna have to destroy it for the good shit to grow again next year.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
earth has to cleanse itself, man. And a lot of people ain't gonna be ready to receive that light. So
So
they're not gonna make it.
so are we saying, just to go back to the title at hand, are we saying that it's kind of hopeless for the nigga at this point? Like they just I
I say
mean,
yeah
like,
too. I mean, I'm not gonna bite
That's
my tongue.
right.
I'm not gonna bite my tongue about it. I think it's we at the critical time because they are gathering in the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah.
That's called Krima over there in the Ukraine.
Mhm.
All the nations supposed to be gathered there to go to war. Ukraine is the start of NATO, China, Russia, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, America. All these peoples unite into this battle of kingdomship. There's not going to be no victor of this war. Only one's going to be the victor of this war is those who got out the way.
Yeah. I
You
can see
must
that.
get out the way. You cannot depend on a dollar. Get what you can while you got it, right? But
Mhm.
mhm.
plan on it to fall. Plan on this whole thing to fall. You got to do some serious camping. You got to get you some survival books. You got to
Yeah.
teach your sons and daughters how to be quiet when it's time to be quiet and kill when it's time to kill, right?
Yeah.
But you got
Mhm.
to get them out the way so you ain't have to go through none of that.
That's a
Because you
fact.
will have a protection over you.
Yeah.
He's telling
Right.
you. He already said it in the book. In the book, prepare yourself
Yeah.
for this day.
Yeah. And
The
folks
world
prepare
is being
themselves for a
judged.
doggone jab. Do we feel like the jab is causing a increase in homogenized niggerdom?
Oh, of course. I have friends that took that thing. One minute they seem like they woke, and the next minute they seem like they Forrest Gump all over again. It's it,
Oh
it,
my
it, it, it,
gosh.
it's crazy. Literally, like I'm talking about grown men. I'm talking about men in their 60s, 50s. I mean, I ain't talking about boys. They really can't see. They can't see. And it boggles my mind when it's sitting right there in front of how you not
Right.
able to see the game. When did you think the game was over? When did you as a black man
Right.
say, hey, I agree with the FBI. I agree with the CIA. I
Right.
agree with this American government. When did we start to agree with that? When did we say, hey, let me roll up my sleeve because you scared me, let me get that thing? And do you have many folks that could profess themselves to call themselves Christians, right? Saying
Yeah,
I'm
they
a
the ones
Christian.
that got
But when that thing come out when they can't buy, sell, or eat because they ain't got that implant in their hand when they able to scan for that food,
it.
watch how many
Hmm.
Christians get it. Watch them.
They already got the jab though. They was a,
That's
They
just
got
the
the
beginning.
jab.
That's just the beginning.
Let me tell
That's
you,
just the beginning.
tell you
Go
something
ahead.
about that jab.
Because it released that with that jab, doesn't it release like capsules like over time? I've
Oh
heard
yeah,
with those injections and stuff over time, like 10-year gap, this is what's released in your body and these
yeah,
are the side effects
yeah.
or whatnot. So yeah, jab me not.
Right, right. Period. Mhm.
Jab me not. And far as the little implants in the hand, they got that already. They've been talking about that 10, 15 years ago. I was called crazy for that. I was called crazy when I was talking about CERN and the portals and them controlling the weather. I was called crazy when I was trying to explain to my people that we are in scary times and we need to boot up. No one wanted to believe me. Now I feel like we're at a point where it's too late. It's too late to play catch up because I'm not about to argue with nobody that's ignorant. I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to argue with nobody who feel like black people come from slavery. I'm not about to argue with
Right,
anybody who feel
right,
like that we all
right,
came from Africa because I don't. I'm not
right.
about to do that with anybody. I won't waste my breath. Now, it's those who want to receive the information. I'm for that. I didn't come from ignorance. Okay. Big Ben, Benjamin Banneker, they still got their clock. That he's still the best mathematician on this earth. They still follow his almanac. Okay. And let's talk about Alexander Pushkin.
Come on.
Russia would be speaking what, Portuguese? If it wasn't for Alexander Pushkin, he the one who gave them the Russian literature. And guess what? He was black, biracial, whatever you call it. Back
Mhm.
in the day, the Constitution say if you had a drop of black blood, you wasn't considered human, right? Well, how come when you a samurai, if you don't have any black blood, you can't be a samurai? Make it make sense to me.
So
I'm
watch
not
the
gonna
reverse.
argue with
Watch
nobody where
watching the
you
reverse
can't
in
see the
that though.
facts yourself. I'm
Watch watch
sorry.
watch the reverse of that. We like going up to the land. There's old almanac that whoever was on this land first, and this is the virgin land where we on, right? So they just open
Mhm.
the government just opened it up for us to live on. It's so like I believe it was 9 million square acres. So we got a piece of it. But there's an almanac that somebody put on this rock, and they got all kind of creepy things, spiders and flowers and stuff saying what was going here at this time. Right? We don't know how old the artifact is, but let me say this: when we look at black and white, we got to understand the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Mm,
They put that color game on us with the black
yeah,
law,
Mhm.
right?
yeah.
I know a lot of folks don't like hearing this, but the purity of you, the black woman, how you used to be, you were the white woman.
Right.
I was the white man.
Yeah.
They were the black and the dark.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just
Mhm.
because we say, hey, this is black. No, that's what they told you.
Right.
Just like they gave the color sky the blue.
Mhm.
Is it blue? Is red red? Or is that
Right.
indoctrination? What
Right.
did we call it prior? You understand what I'm
Wow.
saying?
I feel you.
So when they did this Eddie Murphy thing, when you look at that movie Eddie Murphy with Trading Places, they stole your identity. That's the number one
Mhm.
identity theft.
You could tell when you look up your history too, because at a certain point, like early 1900s, I see the same, like my family member on the same sense, like each year the census, the same person go from mulatto to free black to negro, and it's
Mhm.
like how you all
You are the
these people.
PO. the PL, they call it the PL, they call it the P8. I can't hardly say it because my English is broken, but it's like the Pale, the people that's been on the land first, it's called Peota, Peota, whatever it is. And that words
Mhm.
in that is pale. Pale is white. You are the originators of that
Pure.
land.
Because white means pure.
Yes,
Purity. Yeah.
it means pale. Pale, the Greek word is Peota, which means the originator, aboriginal.
Okay.
Means so when they came here, they seen white people, not color white, but
Yeah.
the purest essence of who you were.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There was, if you look at the movie Amistad, when that man said, well, they maybe let you go. He said, what is maybe? We don't have that in our vocabulary, nigga. If you either it is or it ain't. What is maybe?
Mhm.
So the word is called spells.
Yeah.
That's why they say spelling words, right? So
Mhm.
we really be mindful of the trick. It's psychological.
Yeah.
Indoctrination, psychological. All of it. You got to go back and see who played this game. Now go study Charles Darwin and
Yeah.
his teachers.
Yeah.
Then
Mhm.
study his nephew who came up with the African American studies.
Who is his nephew? What's his name? I'm just gonna look up
His
Charles
name is
Darwin nephew.
Hold on, let me get his name, last name, Melville Kokovich. I can't, Kokovich or something like that. You
Okay.
go Google Google this. The Jew who is the grandfather of African American studies. And you'll see it'll pop up and his name will pop up. They celebrate him because he the one to put that needle in our head. Because if they take you off the land, you will no longer fight for the land. No, y'all
Mhm.
came from somewhere else. So y'all can have them do whatever y'all want to do. I don't care who the president, I don't care who the Congress. I want to go back to Africa. Or I
Right.
want to be this, have this identity of what they
Right.
created you to
Mhm.
be, right? So, but when you start realizing, hold on, wait a minute, man, it's a trick bag. You took my land. Let's get
So
this
so
back. Let's get
these
this
niggas
back.
is suffering from an identity crisis.
Oh yes.
I wish has anybody here seen they clone Tyrone yet?
No,
No.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
saw,
Cause
I
once
saw,
y'all see,
I watched it yesterday. I watched
it's
it yesterday, but I kept falling asleep on it. I got the gist of it. Um, yeah, they cloned Jamie Foxx.
a
You know what I'm saying?
yo,
Like, dude, they got
but
this shit. Like, this shit has
the,
been out here in our faces
For
for
so
so long,
long.
and they have to show us through movies, and they have to tell us. So they'll put it in the damn movie. We'll laugh at it, and then you say, "Dude, they clone so and so." Oh, nigga, you want some clone Tyrone shit?
It's
Like,
but they
retribution.
the format and what they telling you is it's three different types of people that they strut out in front of us that influences our whole community that
right,
they
right,
target to clone. You
right.
got the drug dealer
Yep,
slash rapper, you
yep,
got the pimp, and you got the hoe.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And what you
yep.
see running rampant, you turn on, I don't know what y'all country music station is over there, but any other music station, pop music station, is different frequency from when you
Right,
turn
The
on a
hurts
hip
is
hop
right,
different.
music station.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And then
right.
you got nigga uniforms, what you call his
I
name?
like that.
Uh Pooh Shiesty mask. Everybody wearing those. And when I see a nigga with that, I'm going 50 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh,
It's
don't
a
forget the
hundred.
bad bitch. Don't forget the bad bitch. There's a
Yeah,
bad bitch everywhere.
it's
It's a
a
bad bitch everywhere.
Can I share
nails
a
out
jewel with you guys?
here.
Can I
And
Mhm.
share a jewel with you?
yeah.
Go ahead, drop them.
So when we look at zodiacs,
Mhm.
each zodiac has a certain profile about itself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The age of Gemini, the Two Face, right?
Mhm.
They've been cloning since 830 CCE. You go look at the pyramids and in the hieroglyphics, you see human beings with distorted faces and things of that nature. So this cloning thing is nothing new. They
Splicing.
just, they just continue to regurgitate things over and over again until we figure it out on this planet, right?
He's put here to create.
Yeah. So what we got to do as master teachers and understanding is that we got to understand this thing Like they always told us after I was a young boy, there's nothing new under the sun. And there's not. We're gonna continue to recycle this thing until we figure it out.
Mhm.
Every age of time, like the age of Aquarius, the age of information, right? Look on back in your phone. You have an apple, and it's been bitten.
Mhm.
Eve picked that apple, got information.
Mhm.
They said Eve would surely die, but it wasn't a physical death.
Right.
It was a mental death of being indoctrinated by someone else.
Hmm.
So when she bit the apple, she woke him. Hold up, wait a minute. No, she died, but the real one lived on because she gained the knowledge. Without the women having the knowledge, the village is done anyway.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Gotta have right knowledge though, because it's a lot of information floating out there. I've been on my journey since, I mean, since I was 19. I'm 40 now. So it's like I've seen the regurgitation and genetically modifying of information going on. You get a new leader that look the same as the last one saying the same thing like he created it. It's like now at this point it's like redundant. I don't know who can't see this at this point. It's like we got all these eyes and can't see what's going on in front of us.
You
So
sisters need to roar. We need you sisters to roar.
I'll
Cause,
be here consistently
cause
roaring
conflict with
every Sunday.
Okay, roar! I'm
Consistently.
here on this
hey,
platform,
For
love.
real.
Hey, listen, hey, I would love to stay on here and chop with y'all, man. I got like 20 people pulling up for a gun class, man, from the other
No,
side.
you're
Okay,
good.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Marksmanship, do your
It's
thing.
it's
Hey,
7 o'clock. Go ahead and let the people know where we can find you, and we'll go ahead and get you the exit.
okay, I'm on Facebook. I'm Kamani Brave Horse. Oh, on TikTok, I'm Kamani Brave Horse.
Word, word.
Guys,
And he got a gun range, and if anybody,
Love
those
it.
with ears to hear,
yeah, y'all
contact
need any
Network
type
Meet.
of any
Yeah,
type of survival training, man. We do map reading, compass protractor, terrain association. We do water purification, off-grid classes on solar, guns, knives, axe, shit, throwing axes, anything, anything
oh,
y'all want to learn, man. We teach survival class out here, man. So if y'all interested, hit me up.
word. It was a pleasure
Talk
having
to
you,
y'all
brother.
later, man.
Hopefully you
Love
can
y'all,
come
man.
back
Y'all be
soon.
safe.
Thank you.
Peace. Oh, you still on mute, brother Yusuf. Oh, there
shut
you
this
go.
thing down
We
for
can
the
hear you
day.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So
I
pretty
seem like
much.
y'all ready to keep going. Look at you.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
I'm like, let's
we
talk.
gon'
Let's
we
get
Hold
can
on,
into
I can't
it.
hear him, brother. Can you help me out, brother? I'm not on mute.
no, you're
You,
not.
we can hear you.
He can't hear us.
Oh,
Okay, there y'all go. Say it
All right.
again.
No, we are ready to keep it going because there's a lot to tie up in all of this.
mm-hmm.
To make sure that folks really grasping what's going on here. You know what I'm saying?
And
Y'all are
I want to ask everybody's opinion, not to cut you off or
no, you good.
whatever, before we go, because I wanted to touch bases on this young lady going to Dubai, the whole yelling situation, and her going to jail. Like I feel a lot of people going to be upset with me. Okay, I don't feel like that you should leave this country if you have not done your research. You don't even have proper etiquette as a woman here in the US, and you're going to take your ass somewhere else where you don't know what's going on in that country. You don't have no ties. You do not know how the legal system work. You went down there, showed your ass, and went to jail. So do I feel super bad for her? I do not, because you need to study stuff first. You are embarrassing yourself. Everybody does not need a passport. In a while, we will be locked down to the US because you don't know how to act when you leave home. Sorry, I
Well,
went
you
on a
know, they
rant. How
said,
do y'all feel about that?
yeah, they saying a lot of nations are feeling that way about American citizens, especially Black Americans. But we also have to understand this. We must be careful because when we stop paying attention and not caring what other nations doing to their own citizens, that's all America needs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All she need. Okay, we out of y'all business, y'all stay out of ours. Because when we go after ours, let us do our thing as well. That's all everybody's doing is getting approval. Remember, this is about depopulation. They want to have control. They think they're gonna be here. They're not gonna be here. You just got to survive the funk that's coming.
Right, right, right.
You just got to.
I
They're not gonna be here. But you got to survive.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
see that. I see that in a different way now after having this conversation is just stay out of the way because these niggas ain't changing. I mean, they ain't changing. They're not there. You know what I'm saying? They cloned Tyrone. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
right,
not them anymore. So who we trying to reach out? The beautiful black sister or beautiful black brother that we're trying to reach and hope that they hear, they're not there anymore.
right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
you
So
see the technology itself, how fast it's speeding up,
Mhm.
absolutely.
crumbling many industries. Right.
Mhm.
That's going to show you that they're not caring.
Right.
That's showing you. So when you putting all this pressure on these people's credit card bills are up, car loans are not being paid off, people are behind in their mortgages, food
Mhm.
prices are high. What do you think is about to happen?
Right. Right.
What do you think is about to happen?
The
And
whole
no one is
mess.
prepared.
Did you see what happened with what was it, Yellow Freight? They
Yeah,
took their pension.
I seen
They,
that.
they took their pension. Who else pension is next?
Everybody's, but
Do
they've
you
been going.
understand? So
Yeah,
you sitting up there want to be around all these niggas when they started taking these carpets from up under them. What you think they going to do?
I'm not being around them.
Right.
I'm up. I'm in my little cozy corner on the hill. I plan on staying here until the dust settle and the smoke clear, or either I'm gonna
That's
come
it.
out there to the field and learn how to ride some horses and you know make
Yep.
that a part of the community and a part of the church for real.
You don't have
Because
many choices no more.
no, no,
You don't.
no.
Imagine being a man worked at a company for 32 years of your life and they tell you your retirement is gone.
It it it's sad because my mother passed away 4 months before her retirement was coming, and I'm almost certain that the hospitals did it because she had never had a hospital visit. And that
Hmm.
was her first and only one since I've been alive that she didn't make it out of. Like,
Mm.
That's
I,
why they do all this data collecting.
yeah,
They
yeah,
all work together. It's a market, all of it. From the
yeah,
stock market, everything, they make money off of all of it.
Mhm.
So when you got somebody that's coming from Social Security, got the Social Security benefits and all these things coming, and they saying, well, we already have a problem with our currency. We need to start knocking people off.
yeah.
The vaccine ain't doing it quick enough.
Hmm.
Let them come in if they want to. Why you think they let fentanyl just run across this country like it's like nothing?
Exactly, because the drug dealer can't be benefiting off of killing his client.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't even
Okay.
make sense. They
It
got
don't
it in
make
the
sense.
weed. They got it in the CBD gummies.
Somebody's buying our products. Some products is coming from some sort of manufacturing company.
I already
Right.
know because weed heads don't even act the same anymore. Like they're
Yeah.
starting to act a little crackish in the U.S.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
The weed is
Yes.
not the same. Like if you ain't growing your own weed, then you shouldn't be smoking it. To be honest,
or
because it's
knowing
not
the
the
source
same. I've
because we
seen a
got some,
study where somebody separated the color from the weed.
we got some, we got some black weed farms out there, but we don't know if they are GMO niggas that own these that's sold out. I really that's what I'm gonna leave on tonight. They Clone Tyrone wasn't an A+ movie, but I guarantee like I barely watched it. I was watching it half sleep in and out. But just the satire and how much truth they was dishing out in that movie,
I gotta tune in.
it's like, yo, what? You gotta be kidding me.
It is
And
written they gotta tell us before they do it, the act. So
they
Yeah,
that's
are.
a,
you
I
sound like
and that is,
Johnny
and
guarantee
that
you.
is in the
Depp
books of
produced
acts.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, all that's done. That's done. All of that's being done right now. Like
MK Ultra, all of it.
all of it. All of it's being done. But needless to say, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. Brother Yusuf, you wanna let us know where the audience can find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Joseph Yusuf White. Uh, also on TikTok, High Priest 1111. So you can find me on those two outlets.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be connecting with you brothers offline. I definitely
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
know more about the land, off grid life. I've done it before in my Black revolutionary days. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to do
Hmm.
it. I know
You
how
Yeah,
to
just
me
get it
get
too.
done.
prepped. You just get prepped. It's
You
time to
know?
come back on home.
I know
Absolutely.
that's right.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you, brother. Have
Thank
a
you.
good
Yes,
Thank you
evening.
ma'am.
for so
Yes,
much.
ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you. We talk soon.
Yep.
Peace.
You want to go ahead and
Yes, yes. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is Big Ish. You can find me on IG, Big Ish underscore the great. TikTok, Big Ish underscore the great. Facebook don't like my name, so just look up Isha Smith and you'll find me, love.
yes, you can also find us more in-depth conversations, more live meetups throughout the world globally on Network Space Live. So that's YouTube at Network Space Live. If you want to be a part of what's coming with all of the people in my network, how we link up live, those inside conversations, those offline conversations where we
Dope.
really discussing the business and having these think tanks, having them tribal meetings, church, whatever you want to call it. It's big business because family is business and love is law. Again, it's Network
Okay.
Neek. I'm Network Neek on everything. Peace.